Oh, boys, I'd be a little bit nervous too. You see, there were several stories out there in the news that weren't quite connecting until yesterday. And now things suddenly make sense. Lisa and I both covered for you this document. National Guard was getting ready to respond, be trained by April of 2026. Okay. For what? A national uprising? Civil war? Riots? Nobody really knew. Could have connected dots. Then yesterday, two things happen. First, Pete Hegseth comes out and somewhat confirms this memo. And then, in the state of Florida, the first domino falls. A critical domino, one that most missed, didn't even know that this judge was appointed. And the game just changed. And there's a lot more than just these two who should be very nervous right now. And that's a story I'll bring you in 1 minute. I absolutely adore my job as these stories start to take shape because we get to cover the hypocrisy, lies, and manipulation of so much of what's happening in the mainstream media and politics. We're not funding healthcare for those here illegally. What are you talking about? That's not why we're shutting down the government. Our money never goes towards it.
You know, there have been accusations by the Democrats that that's not really a thing, that money from the federal government's not going to illegal immigrants. Maria, just in the last few months, in the few states that we've examined, less than half a dozen, we've identified more than more than $1 billion with a B, more than $1 billion of money, federal tax dollars that have gone to illegal immigrants.
In less than half a dozen states that they've gotten through so far. So yeah, maybe we should keep the government closed a little bit longer until we solve this. Maybe it should be a stalemate. Not maybe. It should be. Because they're not solving anything. And this is absolutely an issue that needs to be solved. Dr. Mehmet, they're making the announcement, making it official. Now what do you have to say, Chucky? Oh, that's right. This has never been about we the people. Because your side has announced it's not about we the people, because this is your last leverage point. Don't worry about anybody getting paychecks, not critical. I could do an entire segment on Zoran Mamdani. I can't believe I have to do any segments on this man whatsoever. I can't believe he is even part of the political discussion, because any world of normalcy, he would be wiped off the political conversation, because this is no one in this great republic of the United States of America that should ever represent any American. But here we are. Let's listen to this.
I want to use this moment to speak to the Muslims of New York City. I want to speak to the memory of my aunt. Who stopped taking the subway after September 11th because she did not feel safe in her hijab.
I'm sorry. How about to all those folks that lost their lives in a terrorist attack? How about to their memory? Guess that's not important, huh? I guess your position's clear. Of course, perfect timing then for Hakeem Jeffries to finally give his endorsement to the potential New York City mayor. Just incredible what we cover nowadays. Before I move forward, huge favor. In order to help beat the algorithm and make sure it knows that Lisa's news is important, I want you to make sure your bell is checked all. Make sure you're still subscribed to our channel. And if you're new here, welcome home. Would love you to subscribe. This is one of our channels. The other one, which is exploding, is yours truly. The channel is taken off, and I can't thank Lisa enough for getting me started. And if you would take just a second, she'll put a link above. I'd love you to go there and subscribe. Of course, our home network is restrictedrepublic.com, where we both broadcast every single day. Love to have you there, but that's just one of many ways we keep these lights and cameras on. And because of sponsors like this.
Well, do you struggle with tingling, numbness, or painful sensations in your hands, or maybe even your feet? You see, there's new research showing that a tiny seed may hold the key to lasting relief. In fact, backed by 30 years of clinical studies, doctors have found that this seed helps restore healthy nerve function, even relieving pain. And it's not just pain, it relieves numbness and tingling all while supporting balanced blood sugar levels. For years, this natural breakthrough was buried by big pharmaceutical, hidden away to protect their big money profits. But now a maverick doctor has discovered its power, and he's making it available to you, the public. All you have to do to check it out is go to myprimal.life/Lisa. That's myprimal.life/Lisa. Imagine what it would feel like to walk without pain and sleep without burning and tingling. Take advantage of this now. And by the way, you can also scan this code right here. Scan it now with your cell phone, and it'll take you directly to the site. Don't hesitate. Do it today. If you want more information and you're on that cell phone, click that more button or click the link in the description box below.
Hakeem Dollar Store Obama just continues to prove exactly how useless he is. The establishment Democrats are gone. The party is wasted. It has been taken over now by the socialist and communist side of the party. It is over, folks. And I'm going to go to proof this out a little bit further before we get to the news that's coming and why this is a tinderbox waiting to go up in flames. So while the Democrats are worried about not honoring those who lost their lives at 9/11, worried about funding those here illegally, what is the Republicans concerned about? Oh, that's right. Paying the checks and salaries of those who served this great republic of the United States of America, not through taxpayer funds, mind you. Oh, no.
Friend of mine, talking about donors, a friend of mine, a man that's great. I'm not going to use his name unless he lets me do it. Susie can tell you about this, but he called us the other day and he said, I'd like to contribute any shortfall you have because of the Democrat shutdown. I'd like to personally contribute any shortfall you have with the military. And today he sent us a check for $130 million.
$130 million. That's what patriotism actually looks like. It's something I know many sides of the aisle aren't familiar with anymore. They're too concerned about their own pocketbooks. Well, some people take money out of their pocketbooks and actually help those in need. It's an unusual concept, I know. And to that man, it's being rumored who it is. I don't believe it's actually critical who it is. And why everybody needs to know who it is. So why does it matter? It's the fact that someone provided for those that serve this country. Period. End of story. So now let's circle back to the main message here of what's happening with the National Guard. Many thought it was going to be in response to what was happening. This National Guard being trained by April of 2026, readied for every state, small strike forces ready within 24 hours. That's the basis. We're watching across the United States. Protesters and vehicles block the entrance to Coast Guard base. Federal agents, operations canceled in the entire Bay Area. We watch as people do sit-ins across the country. We watch this horrific action taken as somebody tries to back a U-Haul truck into United States Coast Guard base at Alameda. Don't worry, the driver was okay. And eventually just drove off. And these are things that are now deemed as normal in this country. So yeah, it would make sense that the National Guard's being trained. As we watch this time and time again, as we're watching congressional members, senators, continue to try to dox and track ICE. Even this announcement, which I played for my audience just a day or so ago.
I shared this with the mayor. Over the course of the next couple of weeks, the Oversight Committee will be launching on their website a master ICE tracker, where we're going to be essentially tracking every single instance that we can verify that the community will be able to send us information on.
Isn't that just marvelous, huh? Our law enforcement, men and women, simply trying to enforce the laws of this great republic, are being doxxed and tracked. Their lives put in danger. And these people actually think it's okay. I thought we had a victory when Apple took down the Ice Block app in order not to track them. But those in Congress, those in many states, don't feel that's appropriate. So they're creating their own. They're just end-arounding it But why? For what purpose? Who are you protecting? That doesn't serve we the people in any way, shape, or form. Because that's not who ICE is going after now, is it? So who are you protecting? Because remember, we pay your paychecks. Oh, that's right, and you're still getting your paychecks, aren't you? Hence, the shutdown doesn't affect you now, does it? If it was me, and I'm going to shut down the government, and I have to have other people pay for my military paychecks, man, if I had any ethics, I'd probably give up my paycheck, but not you. Oh, no, you won't do that, will you? No, you're more concerned about doxing ICE officials, huh? Lori Lightfoot.
Start the process of unmasking the agents. Even though they're wearing masks, every single one of them has a towel.
You say unmasking, they're going to say you're going to dox them, and that's why threats against them are up.
They are on public property out in...
Ex-Mayor Lori Lightfoot, now replaced by my least favorite mayor in the country. No, we're not doxing. You so sure, huh? Let me go back to your home state, shall I? Margaret Crook, Illinois State Representative. That appears to be doxing when you're giving license plate numbers and vehicles of ICE officials. So be careful what you claim when you leave evidence on the internet. Folks, journalism isn't hard when you do it nonpartisan, and there's evidence everywhere. So again, going back to my original statement, it would make sense that Trump is training the National Guard with quick strike forces to reinforce against people like Nancy Pelosi, who are saying prevents federal agents from taking certain actions here, have we witnessed in other states, going so far as to say police may arrest federal agents who violate California law. Really? Nancy, I know. You got to put that down for a few minutes. You got to think about what you're saying before you state it. I know it's difficult. You cannot disclose, Todd Blanche comes out against her, the identity of a federal agent, where they live, anything that could harm them. Scary, you have to remind Nancy Pelosi of this. And so she gets a letter from Todd Blanche, and Gavin Newsom gets it, Rob Bonta gets it, Brooke Jenkins gets it, reminding them of the law. But they don't care about the law, do they? They don't care about the safety of ICE officials. Now it goes further, because Pam Bondi has to come out.
Pelosi got a letter today from Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche. So did Brooke Jenkins, that DA in San Francisco. We told them, preserve your emails, preserve everything you have on this topic, because if you are telling people to arrest our ICE officers, our federal agents, you cannot do that. You're impeding an investigation, and we will charge them if they think they have not met me.
Save your emails. If you think I won't charge you, then you haven't met me, and that is the tact we have to take right now. They're playing a dangerous game, aren't they? But it appears they're trying to up this to a different level, aren't they? Almost as if they're concerned about something, guarding against something that's coming. Have you noticed what's coming? Most wouldn't have even noticed it's happening because it's quiet. Oh, we're almost there. It's actually kind of exciting when you get to it. Jack Smith a little bit nervous now suddenly because he's involved in it. He asked Congress and the Justice Department to allow him to testify publicly in this letter. To Jim Jordan and Chuck Grassley, we've received Chairman Jordan's October 14, 2025 letter and are aware of Chairman Grassley's interest in testimony from our client Jack Smith. Given the many mischaracterizations of Mr. Smith's investigation of President Trump's alleged mishandling of classified documents and role in attempting to overturn the results of the 2020 election, Mr. Smith respectfully requests the opportunity to testify in open hearings before the House and Senate Judiciary Committees. Appears someone's a little nervous, huh? He wants to get those statements on record to the public because they realize how important sound bites are. But what are they protecting against exactly? Because they all saw once this was leaked out by Anthony Cabasa, this was his Substack before it became more public. Troops training for potential nationwide civil unrest. Troops must be ready to deploy nationally April 1st, 2026. Every keyboard warrior was on the internet trying to find what was happening in April 1st, 2026, but they couldn't find anything. Keep in mind, It was by April 1st, 2026. These little strike forces in every state be ready to deploy, not within 72 hours, within 24 hours, pulled from multiple divisions, suddenly became a really big priority. But we really didn't have confirmation. All we had was fuzzy memos that Anthony Cabasa got a hold of. Tells what to do, where they're coming from, what forces they're coming from, what they're going to be trained in: de-escalation, radio communication, civil disturbance, baton and body shields. Not a whole lot of information, though. Till yesterday, we hear a little bit more from Hegseth. He doesn't deny the memo exists.
Can you verify the authenticity of that memo, and do you have any more information on the operations?
I'm not going to answer particulars on something that may be in the planning process, but we definitely do have multiple layers of National Guard response forces, whether it's in each state, whether it's regionally, whether it's Title 10 active duty, whether it's Washington, D.C. We've got a lot of different ways that constitutionally and legally we can employ Title 10 and Title 32 forces, and we will do so when necessary.
Uh-oh. That means it does exist. It wasn't denied, now was it? But what would they be preparing for? I mean, we know the ICE officials are being rammed into, blocked, attacked. They can handle themselves, though. With a little bit of National Guard deployment, they'll be fine. This must be something different. Is there going to be another Black Lives Matter riot? Maybe, potentially. But what would trip that off? Because so far, the No Kings Rally was unsuccessful at tripping anything off. Just based on the general age of those that were there, not much was going to be tripped off. There has to be something else. And then, over the last couple days, we had this come out from Chuck Grassley's office. You remember, I covered it for you if you watched on my broadcast, this letter. This was a disaster. Just received this document from DOJ proof that Biden Attorney General Merrick Garland and Deputy Attorney General Lisa Monaco and FBI Director Chris Wray all personally approved opening Artic Frost. Artic Frost. You might as well call it Crossfire Hurricane Part 2. It's all one and the same. It just continued on, the attack against Trump. And you see here, it's official. Chris Wray signed a letter, went to the DOJ. I need your approval to open this investigation. But where you got Lisa Monaco? And there you go. Merrick Garland and Lisa Monaco. Everyone knew about it. Talk about political weaponization now, huh? Because what Trump was doing, looking into the electors, was perfectly legal. There was nothing legal nor illegal basis about it, and you had no evidence to the kind. You only had a guess, an assumption, a hunch to open such a deep investigation. That could get you in a little bit of trouble, but that would have to be further investigated. And man, if you went after so many individuals within the apparatus, that could cause a major disturbance. Because Kash Patel was the one to find that letter, hand it over to Grassley and Johnson. Now we got a mess on our hands. It appears the establishment is being treaded into very, very deeply. It just took a little while to find all this documentation. And as you go deeper into Artic Frost, you're going to go deeper into Crossfire Hurricane. But that all kind of originated, a lot of this originated in Florida. And before you could do anything, you would need grand juries, but there really hasn't been any grand juries and very few arrests so far. So, nobody's going to worry about much, are they? And grand juries take a while to kind of put together. Even if you establish one now, it wouldn't be until January that it would even be established. Do you know who he is? I certainly hope you do. It's a quiet appointment. Didn't go with much fanfare at all, as a matter of fact. The first quiet domino, why Trump's new U.S. attorney in Miami matters more than you think. And he just did something. We'll go down in this article, prepared by Larry O'Connor, and you see right there who's sweating. Well, it'll be a lot more than them, though. While the corporate media hyperventilates over the dismissal of the Bureau of Labor Statistics Commissioner, Treating a routine personal change like the second coming of Watergate, they're ignoring a far more consequential development. President Donald Trump's first confirmed U.S. attorney of his second term is now in place, and not just anywhere, in Miami. That's not just a warm weather assignment. The Southern District of Florida includes Palm Beach County. That means Mar-a-Lago. That means Trump's residence. The focal point of the now infamous FBI raid over alleged classified documents. It's also ground zero for any future legal investigations involving federal misconduct tied to the Russiagate hoax or the weaponization of federal agencies. Wow. That would wrap up a lot of people. A lot of people didn't like Trump. A lot of people who did a lot of bad things to Trump. A lot of those lawfare cases would have to originate in Florida with Jason A. Redding Quiñones, who nobody even really knows his name. His first appointment. That guy. And just a few days ago, a silent move that the media won't report on for you. Miami U.S. Attorney Jason Redding Quiñones is impaneling a new grand jury in Fort Pierce, Florida. Actually, he's impaneling two. These won't be established till January 12th of 2026, which means February, March, or maybe just before April, indictments will start flying. That will freak out a lot of people. That may cause a little bit of uprising. Oh, thank goodness. President Trump already has a resolution in place for that now, doesn't he? See? You just have to wait for the stories to vet out a little bit further now, don't you? The real case that ends this Democrat lawfare is conspiracy against rights under 18 U.S.C. 241. That's where this all leads. Mike Davis. We need a special grand jury in Fort Pierce, Florida. That's ground zero for the Mar-a-Lago raid. It's time to drag every name into the light. Every last one will face justice. And now we have the stage set to do exactly that.
Point out that my good friend Jason Redding Quiñones, there's now a special grand jury that that Jason just motioned the court in the Southern District of Florida to open in Fort Pierce. I think that sounds like a great place to open up this grand jury on Crossfire Hurricane. As I've promised and as I will deliver, justice is definitely coming. So lawyer up, motherfuckers, because justice is definitely coming.
Lawyer up, MFers, because justice is coming. Well, I guess justice was here to report it to you, huh? We just have to wait, let it vet out a little bit, and stay on the storyline. Patience is a virtue. We'll continue to watch, and I'll continue to report. We love you all. If you love what we're doing here, don't forget to subscribe to Lisa. Also, if you want to support us further, please don't forget to get to restrictedrepublic.com. That's our home news platform. You can go to CNN if you really want, or MSNBC, or many other ones. But if you want real news, no commercials, no interruptions, audience funded, your place and your home is restrictedrepublic.com. Get there right now. I love you all. Until next time, Godspeed and God bless. Justice Knight, signing out.